black dude. Old black dude.
Yeah, I might actually record a video off this. Um, yeah, you do missions like GTA. It's pretty similar. But I'm gonna walk through step by step how to um, set up dynamic cam. So we're gonna go one step at a time. Um, so we'll start with the standard settings. The first thing I'm gonna change is the camera offset. Of course, as usual, your character is right in the center of the screen, and right, right in the center of the screen. So we're gonna change that. So I might just buy a computer now since it's boring on my Xbox. Yeah, go ahead and get your computer. Get you a desktop or a laptop. Laptops are pretty dope too. Yeah, I'm gonna go step by step on how to set up this add-on. Once you have the add-on installed, you can go to options, you can go to add-ons, you can go to dynamic cam, and this will bring up the standard settings. Um, I would automatically change the maximum camera distance. I just put that all the way up. And keep everything else the same as far as mouse zoom, mouse look. I'm going to keep all this the same unless you specifically need to change the speed. Horizontal offset. This is where I'm going to start to make changes. This is the camera over the shoulder offset. So immediately I am going to slide this up to, let's go 2.2. 2.2 is probably the best. And as you can see, the character is no longer in the center of the screen. They are slightly offset to the left side. So back in the options, add-ons, dynamic cam, um, adjust shoulder offset according to zoom level. So what that allows you to do is the closer you zoom in, like if I zoom all the way in, he gets closer, you know, or the further I zoom out, the more he is on the center of the screen, if you noticed. And then the more I zoom in, the more left the camera goes, right? So now the camera is centered right here and my character is set off to the left. And we're just going to keep that enabled. I'm actually going to slide this up just a little bit. Point 3. Okay, next is vertical pitch. I am going to enable this. And as you can see, as soon as I enable it, the camera pans down, right? And so that's what you're going to be working with here in the vertical pitch area. So I am going to enable vertical pitch. Um, let's see. And I'm going to slide this down, and by sliding this down, this should move the camera up. Yeah, okay. So we're moving the camera up. This looks pretty good. Keep it right there. Let's see what the reset is at. Is that 0.4? Yeah, we're going to slide it up. 0.15. Flying pitch. I'm going to keep that the same. You can change that. but it's best to do that while you're actually flying or while you're actually on a mount, a flying mount. Downscale is basically um, how far down your character is on the screen, right? So my character right here, if you take the mouse and go across here, you see this level. This is the level. So you're changing the level at which your character is on the screen, right? And so downscale looks pretty good, but I'll slide it just so you can see how that works. See how now my character is way down here on the screen, and then if I slide it, right, and now he's more towards the center of the screen. So I'm gonna keep that where it was, 0.25. That's pretty good for what I'm looking for. Smart pivot cut distance, we're gonna keep that the same. Target focus, enemy target. So what this will do, this will lock onto the target, and I'll just show you, for instance, this target here. I'm gonna click on this Nerubian right here, and as you can see, I'm now clicked on that target. Go back to options, add-ons, dynamic cam, and click enable. Okay, and then I'm gonna click off, and now I'm gonna click on the target, and as you can see, the camera snaps over to that side, right? And if I hit escape, the camera snaps back to the center. So that's the difference there. And that's the target focus. You want to keep the target focus on. You can change the strength. You can mess around with that, see if you like that or not. I usually keep it like this. NPC target, target interactions for NPCs. I will also enable that. Head tracking, I will enable head tracking. And I generally just keep that the same. Again, you can mess around with it. It has these reset buttons so you can get it back to what it was. But I generally just keep it the same. Okay. Next, so these are the standard settings, and this is just default settings. So whenever you don't have something, uh, so next we're into the situation. So whenever you don't have a situation set, the camera will fall back to the standard settings, and that's what that's for, right? And now we're going to enable some of the different situations. This is the situation group right here, and if you drop this menu down, you'll see all the different situations that are in the game. All right, so we will start with number one, which is the city. All right, and mouse look. You don't want to override the standard settings unless you want to change something. And so what I'll do here is I will go down to zoom and view. So we'll keep these the same for right now. We'll keep the standard settings the same for this, and we'll go to situation actions, and I will change the zoom and the view. So we'll enable that. And in order to enable the situation, you just want to click this here, enable, and set zoom. Okay, set zoom or set view, right? Oh wow, crazy storm just came through. That's crazy. Okay, interrupted by the thunder. Sorry about that. So set zoom. So this allows you to set the zoom for the camera. What we're going to do is we are going to select set zoom, and we are going to set the zoom type as in, right? So we're going to zoom in when we're in the city, and the zoom value is going, starting to rain, and the zoom value is going to be 10. Okay. Won't enable rotation, and we won't enable the UI fade, but you can if you would like to. All right, so next situation is going to be city indoors. Okay, so we're going to enable city indoors, and now that situation is enabled, which means that these settings take priority over the standard settings. So again, we're going to change the view, and so now the situation is when we go inside a building while you're inside the city. We're going to enable the zoom and set the zoom view again to set zoom, and we're going to set the zoom type to N again. Okay. I forgot to talk about zoom transition time. So the zoom transition time is basically how long it takes the camera to get from the current zoom position to the one you want. And I generally turn that up. That gives a little bit of a gives it more of a cinematic feel. So I'm going to turn that up to 2.5. And we're gonna change this view to 7. Okay, so the city view is 10, and when we go indoors, it will zoom in to 7. And that will take 2.5 seconds in order to do so. I usually keep this at adaptive restore zoom. You can change it to never or always, but I usually keep it at adaptive. And what that does is that's just asking you if you want to restore the zoom to what it was before. Always, never, or it's just adaptive. The next situation is the world. So right now I am in the world. So when I activate this situation, it should turn green. Right? Yep. So the current situation you are in will always be green. So whatever active situation you're in will be green. All right. So that's the situation I'm in, and I am gonna set the zoom for this. The zoom for the world is, we want a pretty decent. We want to be able to have a pretty decent view of everything while we're running around. So I think we'll set the view. No, we'll set the zoom. And we'll put it at a range. Put a range from about 15 to 25. And now when I reload the UI, the zoom will be no higher than 15. Okay, so this is the default zoom while in the world. But for me, that's a little too far. I don't like that zoom for when I'm actually in combat. I like a close-up zoom. So let's now change situation to world combat, and let's enable that. And let's change the situation actions. We're going to enable the zoom, and we're going to set the zoom again, and we're going to zoom in, and we're going to zoom into, it's already set to 15 to 25, so we'll zoom in really close. Yeah, we'll zoom into 9. Let's try 8. 8 might be okay. Let's see how that is. So we'll just go for the single target here. And when I charge in, the zoom should change.
I am out of range.
As you can see, when I charged in, the zoom changed. And after combat is over, the zoom returned. But it kind of snapped in and snapped out. We want that to feel a little more natural, a little more cinematic. So we're gonna add in the transition, the zoom's transition time. So for world combat, We're going to add it to 2. And we're going to also add this to seconds is okay. You don't want the camera moving for too long in a combat situation. So, and after combat, the camera zooms back out. All right, so we got a little bit of gameplay action going. Okay. And that is how the camera settings work. From there, you can go in and set up each individual situation, even from dungeon scenarios, outdoor combat. If you look through here, you'll see all the different scenarios that you can set up. So I'll go through and set them up. I won't set them up right now, but I will set them up. If you need help setting them up, uh, definitely feel free to contact me. Leave a um, comment, and I'll definitely get back to you. Let you know. Help with anything, any configuration setting this up. I know it's a little bit. I've used it for a while, so I'm a little used to it. Also, you can set profiles here, so I'm just going to go ahead and set a profile here, and we're just going to call this Mbaku. That's the name of my warrior. Hit OK, and that's going to change it back to the regular default camera. As you can see, my character's right in the middle of the screen, and from there, I just need to go back in here and copy from default, and now we're back to the default camera. But yeah, thank you for watching, and I will catch you in the next one. Have a good one.